Today I'm going to show you what $1 million gets you in Chicago's iconic water tower place. Just like the original water tower that survived the Chicago fire, the building, because of its classic nature and very unique living and retail combination, survived heroically and as desirable as ever. And the apartment you're about to see is the same. Classic and timeless, survived so many different periods, and after 46 years, ready to head into the future, shiny and new. Welcome to Water Tower Place at 180 East Pearson, residence 3702. This home has 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 1,775 square feet of interior living space, listed for $1,050,000. And a big thank you to listing agents Josh Lipton and Mike LeFevere for letting me tour their beautifully renovated listing. Welcome to residence 3702. Entering through this large, beautifully crafted door, you enter this beautiful apartment. And this foyer is actually really nice. The first thing you notice is this dramatic light fixture at the top, and it's done in this matte black finish with these Edison bulbs. And the other thing you notice is right over it, you have this grand ceiling detail. And you notice the exquisite millwork that's tiered all around. And at the ceiling, you have hardwood floor inlay that actually ties in with the floors in the unit. It's a very innovative design detail, and it looks really, really beautiful. And here on the right, you have an area for a console table. When you get home, this is where you throw your keys. It's perfect because you can have a nice mirror here. And that's the thing about this home, is that there's so much wall space for artwork. Entering the kitchen, you notice how striking these kitchen cabinets are. And they are absolutely stunning. You know, part of you thinks that this type of kitchen is going to have these ultra modern, swanky, high gloss cabinets, but instead the designers went with this natural look, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. It really warms up the place. It looks so nice with these beautiful white oak floors, which we'll talk about in a minute. And the other thing I like is the modern quartz counters with quartz backsplash running all across. Looks very clean. The other thing I appreciate is the matte black hardware. So you have this matte black faucet that looks like commercial grade faucet, and all the plumbing fixtures in the home are by Brizzo. The other thing I like is the textured cabinet handles. Again, really nice contrast. You have this natural look, and then you have this bold black hardware on top of it. Looks really, really nice. Not only is this kitchen beautiful, but it's very, very functional. And I know I say it all the time, but this particular kitchen has the functionality triangle, right? And this is where you are, preparing a meal, you have your sink nearby, and then you have your garbage right over here. It's very convenient, and only folks who, prepare a lot of meals in their own kitchens will appreciate this detail. And if you don't cook in the kitchen, well, give it a try, because a kitchen with this functionality is really awesome. And here's your integrated dishwasher. Perfect location for it. It's nicely paneled, and again, it has this really bold textured handle. And this is actually the biggest one in the kitchen. The cabinets have slightly skinnier, taller handles. And then right over here, you have your integrated Sub-Zero refrigerator. More cabinet space right over here. And I should say that there's actually a concrete pillar inside of this area, and I absolutely appreciate how they, dress this area up with more cabinets. If you look at it, it looks like it goes all the way deep. It doesn't, but still, they maximize the storage, and they added lots of cabinet space. And right next to it, you have your built-in microwave, and you have your oven right over here. And then underneath the oven, you have more cabinet space. Again, with kitchens and condos, storage could be an issue, and here they clearly maximized every inch of the space. And the kitchen does not end there. You have more counter space right over here. Lots of storage. You have your soda refrigerator right over here. So when you're entertaining guests, this is more counter space. You could prep here, you could have desserts here, you could, have this be your little bar. Lots of functional areas in this kitchen. Very innovative island with seating for 4. And I really like this ultra-modern light fixture over it. It's really sleek. It's got this matte black finish. It's very elegant and it works so well in this kitchen. It actually ties in nicely with the black hardware in this kitchen. And then right this way, you have your integrated drop-down quartz dinner table with a waterfall edge. And guys, this is definitely one of the most unique islands I've seen. In condos, space is precious, and I like the fact that they created this nice feature because you can use it to have dinner. You can actually use it to get some work done. Again, when you have lots of people over, you can have people hanging out here, you can have people hanging out here, and there's plenty of other areas in the home where people can enjoy and interact. The original kitchen ended right over here, and the developer extended the kitchen for this dramatic transformation. The open concept kitchen flows beautifully into the living room. And this living room is really one of a kind, mainly because of its views. You can see to the east and you can see to the north, and these views are so dramatic. The lake is gorgeous, and you actually see the iconic John Hancock right in front of you. And it's just the perfect distance from the building because you get to appreciate, but it really doesn't block, the natural light. I think it's just so beautiful to look at. One of the nice things about this living room is that the windows have these beautiful granite window seals, and these are actually wide enough to sit on. You can add cushions here, you can put a couple of pillows here, and you can literally hang out here looking onto the beautiful lake all day long. This is your focal wall with a nice TV, and I really appreciate these built-ins right over here. Again, quartz, stone, wraps around custom cabinets, and these are done in a matte black finish with these brass handles. Looks really nice, and again, bold, clean, modern, and fresh. And this is the original living room. One of my favorite features of this home are these beautiful white oak floors. Guys, these floors are stunning. The size of it, the color of it, the texture of it, the finish of it. They're actually by an Italian foreign company called Legno Bastone. The company actually was started by Luigi Bastone like in the 1800s. He used to cut down his own trees. And now 5 generations later, they still make the most luxurious floors in the world. And this home has those floors. Now this is a great area for a formal dining room. So if the integrated quartz dinner table in the kitchen is not enough, this area is perfect. And the area behind these doors was part of the living room, but it was converted into a bedroom. Through these glass French doors, you enter the second bedroom. And this room is very versatile. It's perfect as your guest room, as your office, as your gym. The most incredible views. I mean, just imagine how productive you're gonna be. Sitting at this desk, looking out east and north, and being inspired by the city's architecture, the lake views, and the energy of Chicago. As we make our way into the ensuite bathroom, I'd like to point out the beautiful uplight that you notice around the perimeter of the ceiling. Very chic, very moody, and you actually notice it in the entire home, in all the bedrooms as well as the living room. Beautiful, bold bathroom. Let's talk about the finishes. So this vanity is totally custom. Notice it's floating. I like the color of it, and I really appreciate the contrast with the black sink and the black plumbing fixtures. And then below the floating vanity, you actually have the shelf that runs all across, and it's actually perfect to store your towels, and it actually feels like a spa. This is something you'd find in a country club or a resort, and this is actually your second bathroom in a condo. Right over here are very nice and chic sconces, and guys, these actually swivel. Look at this. I've never seen these before. These are so great, and they work really nicely with this round mirror. And again, round mirrors equals serenity. There's something about the shape of it that automatically is suggestive of a spa experience. And then you have a deep soaking tub right over here. Large format tiles on the wall. Again, very high-end plumbing fixtures. And let's talk about this floor because I almost missed it. Large format tile, very dramatic veins. I think the floor really pops and it works beautifully with the rest of the color palette. And across from the bedroom is a walk-in laundry room. Most condos don't have laundry rooms of this size. This one does. Full-size washer and dryer, plenty of space for some shelving units, and you actually have a trash chute inside of your condo. That's right there. And now let's check out the primary bedroom. So right away, you notice more of these white oak floors, creating this very modern vibe in the entire home. The other thing you notice is how large this room is. This is a California king-size bed, and these views are absolutely magical. Guys, just like in the living room, just like in the second bedroom, they are breathtaking. And these are forever views. You can see the lake. Again, you have the John Hancock right over here. Absolutely stunning. And you can actually see the sun come up straight from your bed. Yes, when you're waking up, you could look east and see the sunrises. Now that's magical. And on the way to the primary bathroom, let me show you this huge walk-in closet. Lots of space for closet organizers, and it's actually large enough to have an accessories island. Very cool. Entering the primary bathroom, you notice how luxurious and beautiful everything looks and feels. Everything sparkles. Large format tile, all the finishes, all the fixtures. Now this is not a primary bathroom you find in a condo. This room feels like the size of a small apartment. Oversized vanity with this really crisp quartz countertop. And again, because the size of this room, they were able to install a vanity of this size. Guys, look at the size of this vanity. It's truly giant. I really like the matte black cabinets. And notice the handles here are very cool and playful and kind of chic. Acrylic with brass. Everything's soft close, everything's beautiful. You have some shelving storage at the bottom there. Huge fan of the way they ran large format tile all across the wall here behind the mirrors. Very clean, very luxurious. Now they did not cut any corners when it comes to materials in this primary bathroom. The large format tiles you notice are actually on all the walls in this primary bathroom. They're beautiful and they create a lot of wow factor. And then right this way is more space. It's perfect for a makeup counter. You notice the LED mirror in the back. You can also use it for a large closet. Just put a set of doors right over here, and then again, lots of storage. Or my favorite, and this is something that I would do personally if I lived in this condo, I would use this area for a cold plunge tub. That's right, I would figure out a way to squeeze it in. I'm actually a huge fan of taking cold plunges at Lake Michigan, but I could do it in the comfort of my own home. And yet another dramatic transformation in the primary bathroom. You can own a piece of Chicago history for about $5,500 a month. Now that's your mortgage, your property taxes and your assessments that include some really impressive amenities. And did I mention that there's a Ritz-Carlton attached to the property? And yes, you get to use their amenities as well, including room service. And that's about it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought it was a beautiful condo. And with that, I will catch you on the next video.